Everybody, welcome to the Fandom Post Radio Podcast. I am your engineer, Kate, and joining me this week is Brandon.
Yo.
Kestrel.
Hello.
Mark.
Howdy.
And Kane.
Hello, hello.
And we are here to talk about anime, because that is what we do. And I think we have news, and I think it's been a hot minute since we recorded last, so we should hopefully have something.
It sure has, and we sure do.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear. I mean, not the delay that we're all busy and don't have time to record, but the other stuff, the news.
We can't talk about news too much though, because we got to get to talking about how fucking cool cigarettes are again, baby. Am I right, Mark, or am I right?
You are 100% correct.
Excellent, thank you.
10 out of 10, no notes.
No notes. Everyone gets a free pack of Camels on me.
Hell yeah.
We'll elaborate on that later, but...
Yep. Speaking of smoking being cool, have you ever heard of Sanji from One Piece?
Oh, yeah,
So
baby.
this is over a month ago now, but the One Piece finally got its premiere date announced. A month anyway. It'll be February 2027. And it will be the first season released all at once, adapting up to Sanji appearing. That will be the first 50 chapters in 7 episodes. So that's about 300 minutes. So the episodes will be an average of 43 minutes and will adapt an average of 7 chapters per episode. And that means each chapter gets an average of 6 minutes of anime time. So if they were standard 24-minute episodes, this would be exactly 4 chapters per episode. The big question is what the timeline is going forward. This series was first announced in late 2023 and won't be starting until early 2027. And it will be adapting 50 chapters to start with. So if we continue with that kind of gap in between each season, I expect it will run for about 100 years.
Nice.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
I forget. Is there somewhere like close to a standard of like chapter per episode? I always thought it was 3 is what most went for, but that was probably on just a conversation we've had on this podcast like years ago. So is 4 a lot, or
It depends on like if it's a weekly or a monthly, right?
Yeah, how many pages it is, and even beyond that, how dense it is. Because like there are a lot of manga where nothing happens in a chapter, and a lot where everything happens. And One Piece gets more dense as it goes along. So based on that, maybe more than 100 years actually. But yeah, I would say 4 chapters is brisk but healthy. They're not going to be skipping anything important, but I feel like it's probably going to be like Hunter x Hunter 2011 pacing.
Yeah, I think at the beginning, at the very least, it should be enough time to do like, each of the Straw Hat introduction arcs for the most part.
Yeah.
When you did the Sanji transition at the beginning, I thought you were gonna talk about the game that got announced.
Oh, that got announced today. Yeah. No, there was a Sanji cooking game announced today too. Yeah. No, I was not going to talk about that.
That's so cute. It's the game dev developers that did all those game dev mobile games a long time ago.
Yeah, I assume all anime games at this point are just reskins of existing games.
Yeah, 100%. This one I am actually excited for. I did play those a lot back in the day.
Yeah, I'll probably end up downloading that and playing it. It looks cute.
Yes, believe it or not, half of my news is video game news.
Hey!
Nice.
Yep. but that's all at the end. So yeah, that's the One Piece. We finally have a date and some info on the pace of adaptation. Yeah, it sounds good other than the fact that we'll all be dead by the time it's done.
Yeah.
It'll be something you can pass on to future generations.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Next piece of news. Sorry for the unfortunate segue, but we have our episode mandated death to announce. Yeah. So this was the jazz pianist and composer of Lupin III from Part 2 in 1977, all the way through to the 2020s, including the iconic theme of Lupin, which accompanied pretty much every Lupin anime starting with Part 2, and that is Yuji Ono, passed away at age 84.
Yeah, that one hurt to see.
At least it was one of those like 84s and not like 44.
Yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't some like strenuous amount of work that killed him.
Right. Yeah, and he got to, contribute to Lupin directly for, almost half a century. So he had a good run.
Yeah. Awesome legacy. So I definitely spun some of his music that day. So he will be missed.
Was he pretty like well known? And in terms of like, he'd be the type of guy that would go to like Lupin the Third concerts and play things or something.
Yeah,
like that.
actually, he had retired in like 2020 or something, 2022, somewhere in there. But then he made another appearance in like 2023, 2024 for a concert. So yeah, he was the Lupin music guy.
Yeah, I feel like he was just beloved within the circle too, just because like there were several instances across Lupin's history where they just put him in the show. We're like just straight up have him show up.
That's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say probably other than Jigen's original Seiyu, he has probably been involved in the franchise longer than anyone.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And they're very close in that, 40-something, 50-something years each.
Crazy.
Speaking of anime franchises that have been around for 50 years, there was some sort of presentation that was coming up quickly about Gundam, and my friend was like, hey, they're going to announce some big Gundam stuff, and I was like, oh, well, 2029 is going to be the 50th anniversary, so maybe they'll announce the 50th anniversary remake of the original series. And then a few hours later, the announcement happened, and they announced the 50th anniversary remaster of the original series. So how much of a remaster that means, whether it's they, did a rescan and brushed off some dirt, or, they're going to have giant CG characters walking in front of establishing shots, like Tomino always intended. Because Tomino is still alive and still as crazy as George Lucas is. So that's a possibility.
Yeah.
So here's my pitch. This has been my pitch for like 10, 15 plus years. 50th anniversary, what is it, April 7th or something, 2029? Full remake of, specifically full adaptation of the origin manga, which includes a full remake of the original TV series, with the director and composer of Unicorn, the pre-CG mecha animation style, and a cover of the original opening song Fly Gundam or Tobe Gundam by Jam Project.
Whoa.
That's all I need. That's all I'm asking for. It's not that much.
I can only get so erect.
Seriously. Put this man in charge.
Right?
Bandai, do you want to print money or not?
Yeah.
They want to print money, but they don't want to spend money to make the money.
Yeah.
What a dilemma.
Therein lies the problem, huh?
Instead, we will have Toby Gundam covered by Guns N' Roses.
Oh no.
And 2026 Guns N' Roses version too.
Yeah, like if it was old
Ugh.
Guns N' Roses, like, that'd be okay, but not now.
An AI recreation of old Guns N' Roses.
Oh no.
And
Um,
I was gonna say, and this CG mobile suits made by the Canadian production company that was involved with, was it
G Savior.
G Savior. I was say G Guardian, but that wasn't quite right.
Oh no.
Yeah.
G Savior, the last canonical part of the UC chronologically.
Damn.
See, there you go. Bring him back.
Yep. Yeah. So anyway, there's a bunch of 50th anniversary stuff announced. I guess I should just kind of run through some of it. That was, I was looking for, all right, April 7th, 2029. Give me that new remake. Don't make me watch 50-year-old TV animation to get people into this franchise. However, the other side of that argument is, once you start, do you just keep remaking everything? Because UC is still going, and a lot of it is from that time. So
Yeah.
I think you would at least have to remake True Sharp's Counterattack. I don't know how long that would take. But yeah, anyway, they put out a little, speaking of how erect can I get, this was specifically pandering to Kane, I believe, a 50th anniversary special. A few minutes long, a little music video with lots of nostalgia porn, specifically for Japanese boomers, also known as Kane.
Yeah. They're just like me, for real, for real.
For real, yeah. They announced theatrical release for Mobile Suit Gundam Seed Freedom Zero, which is a prequel to the sequel to Seed Destiny. Yep.
Did that sentence make sense?
It's Gundam. What do you expect?
Yeah.
That's true.
You're lucky he's not saying the name of the pilots.
That's true. And then they just put out like a little video message from the director of the live action Netflix film to assure us that yes, this is still going to exist.
Sure. Well,
Okay, but
remaster, like I mentioned, literally all they've said is a remaster project has been launched. So we'll wait to hear more on that in the next 3 years. New footage for Mobile Suit Gundam Wing. They put out a little thing for its 30th anniversary last year, and I guess that got the people excited, so there will be some more new footage at some point. Also, no other information on that.
Big.
There will be a 50th anniversary Gundam Con held in Japan. Yoshiki Tomino exhibition held in Japan, both in 2029 for the 50th anniversary. Gundam Landmark Concept, which aims to create a new Gundam facility in Japan that fans from all over the world will want to visit, is also scheduled to start. Lots of things that don't necessarily mean anything yet. But things will happen. We can assure you that.
If they let us pilot a Gundam there, then I'm there.
And speaking of pilotable Gundams, the life-size Unicorn Gundam will be coming down in a few months, August of this year. I think Bran and I have both paid our visits to that.
made our pilgrimage.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. When I saw it, it was literally like the last day of the moving Gundam,
wow.
RX-78
Yeah.
And so, we saw the Unicorn, and I was like, oh, we should check out the other one in Yokohama, wherever it was. And I looked it up, and it was literally, that was the last day of its existence. And I was like, oh, I guess I won't be doing that. However, where do you store a life-size Gundam? So surely it will come back eventually, and considering the 3 facilities that they're creating for the 50th anniversary, it's probably going to come back. So I'm sure we'll get a chance to see that eventually. And the Unicorn will come back as well, I'm sure.
I wonder what the urban exploration scene in Japan is like. Do you think somebody's like figured out where the hell that shit's being kept and is like broken in there?
Oh, I bet.
Yeah.
They're just gonna sink it in the bay, so then they can raise it up and still fully completed whenever they feel like it on a giant platform. It'll be so dope.
I mean, it's
Wish
probably
it
in
was more
space
like
at this
that.
point, right? That would be the most canonically accurate.
I mean, it's literally canonically how Gundam protagonists find the Gundam. They just, kind of find it.
That's true. Yeah. Which is why sometimes it's Char who accidentally finds it.
Oh, jeez.
Isn't that pretty much how all the giant robots are generally found? Somebody just sort of stumbles on it.
Or their abusive father forces them to get in.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the other
Well,
option.
there is
Yeah.
that, yeah.
That one also does come up quite a bit.
It's either you found it and it's your lucky day, or you're horribly abused. It's one of those two options.
Although even when you just happen to find it, it just happened to be made by your father anyway.
Yes, true.
Yeah, let's see what else we got here. Gundam Festival project starts. More just celebrating Gundam in Japan. April 7th, the officially designated Gundam Day by the Japan Anniversary Association.
Is it okay? Yeah, okay.
Love that.
Yeah, whatever. If May the 4th can be an internationally recognized holiday, why not?
Yeah.
If there's any VTuber fans here, there's going to be a Gundam HoloLive collaboration project.
Great.
You can't just pander to the boomers. You got to get the zoomers in there too.
Pecco Gundam is going to make a lot of money, so I get it.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of excited about that. I feel like that can't be anything but amazing. I mean, it's going to be horrific, but it's going to be amazingly horrific, and I'm all for it. Let's do it.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate how just completely unhinged and off the rails Gundam likes to go all the time. It's not even just one universe. It's every time someone else comes to it, they create a new universe and completely different style. Like G Gundam was the first spin-off, right? And that could not be any less Gundam. And could not be any more offensive. So, yeah, I am all for Gundam just going apeshit in every direction all the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then what is this? Something about recycling plastic. We plan to acquire the green mark. Okay, yeah, they're using recycled Gunpla for new Gunpla or something. Sure. As you can imagine, this news gets less exciting as it goes on. Although, arguably, that's the only important piece of news because the rest of them are just creating content and that's saving the world.
That's like how Kit Kat bars have like crushed up Kit Kats in between the layers of the wafer. Or it did traditionally. That's what it used to be. It was like sacrificial Kit Kat.
Kit Kats are like hot dogs?
Yeah, kind of.
Okay.
So they're a sandwich?
Whoa. Whoa.
Guess we got our episode topic.
I was going to say, move aside, anime.
I mean, arguably Kit Kats are more Japanese than anime, so I think it fits. But yeah, that's all the Gundam news that was announced for the 50th anniversary prelude 3 years early. So over the next 3 years, we'll be hearing lots about all of this and lots more Gundam stuff because it's a big anniversary.
Nice.
Yeah, there is some cool stuff there. I'm in complete agreement with you, Kestrel, and they should just animate the origin manga and fucking be done with it.
Yep.
Like it's so good. I'm like halfway through it at this point, and it's the pacing is so good. The art is great. Everyone gets glow ups. Everyone looks so good.
Yeah.
Fucking Rawl.
Yeah, exactly. Ramba Rawl is a fucking hottie in the manga.
Yo.
Like 100%.
I already see Ramba Ral, Pedro Pascal in the live action.
Oh, let's go.
I can already see it.
That'd be amazing.
I think what's funny is I think the one thing the manga does, and it's like understandable, and you come to terms with it eventually because you just have to think about the context of the situation. But for being like your protagonist, Amuro is super duper unlikable. Through like the first like 4 volumes, he's just such a shitty dude. Everyone's doing their
every
best.
iteration of Amuro?
Yeah, pretty much.
I guess I don't remember it as much from the original anime, just because he feels more like a child. He doesn't get as much time, I guess, because it's animated. Maybe I just don't process it as much. But when I'm reading it and I like reread some pages, I'm like, why is he being mean to Fra again?
Yep.
Because he's just a big old jerk in the origin manga. He's better now, like now that we're getting halfway through, and I think he's accepted his lot and has kind of matured a bit. But man, those first couple bits are rough. Like they're winning in spite of him most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, that's why, not to go into or spoil G-Quox that much, but just like anyone else getting the Gundam just immediately ends the war.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's that stuff. Then on to my video game stuff. Of course, as always, the criteria for getting on our news segment is whether I personally care about something. And I don't care about a lot of video games, but as it turns out, all of the franchises I do care about had announcements in the last few weeks. So, first one was for the 40th anniversary of Dragon Quest, which has been my video gaming life for the past few months. And so we assumed that we would probably get a release date, maybe, for Dragon Quest 12, which was announced many, many years ago. We talked about it on the podcast at the time.
Oh, God. Sorry, Kestrel.
Yeah. So they announced that, in fact, they scrapped it all and started over. So it'll be a while still.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's now called Dragon Quest 12 Beyond Dreams. I forgot what it was called before because that was 100 years ago.
I mean, a complete tone shift. Yeah, complete tone shift because it was announced with like black smoke and fire, and now it's like dreams and sky.
It's gonna be edgy and adult. Yep, it was gonna be like Final Fantasy 16. Like, all right, Dragon Quest for grown-ups now.
It's crazy.
And now it is not that. So, bummer. Yeah. Especially since, although this means that it's guaranteed at least 10 years between 11 and 12 because we're already almost on 10 years for 11. Wow. But also in that time, 2 of the 3 creators who have worked on every Dragon Quest title have died. And the one remaining one, Yuji Horii, did claim that we're still going to get Toriyama's designs and Sugiyama's music. But they're kind of starting from scratch, so I would imagine we're going to get less of their direct involvement than we would have if they had kind of kept the course from day one. So Dragon Quest XI was always going to be the last one that completely had all of them in their proper roles, but this will certainly be the last one with any influence from them. And we'll see when that comes out and how it turns out.
Less said about the original composer, the better.
I know, but it's still like, that's the Dragon Quest thing, is like for 40 years or for at least 30 something.
I know.
It's always been those 3 guys.
It's a shame that guy was such a piece of shit.
I know. Yeah. But yeah, end of an era anyway. Perhaps the era has already ended, arguably.
Damn.
No. But yeah, any thoughts on that at all? I don't know if anyone else cares about Dragon Quest.
I've been wanting to get into it for a long time, and I just have not found an entry point yet.
My dude, they just remade and re-released the first 3 games in the series.
I was just going to say the same thing. The HD 2D re-releases of the original trilogy are really good.
That makes sense. I should probably take a look at those ones.
The only Dragon Quest stuff I cared about was Builders, and then that team went off and did Pokopia, so
right, exactly.
My dream is dead.
I mean, if you only cared about that for Dragon Quest, then does it matter if it's Dragon Quest characters or Pokemon characters?
Well, I can't play the system it's on right now, so... Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have been, as you all know, I'm lucky if I get through one video game a year, and I have a dangerously long and growing backlog right now, due in part to trying to tackle all of these Dragon Quest remakes that have been coming out one after another lately. So in addition to the first three, 7 was also remade in a, more modern style. And lots of other stuff. And they continue to be announced, which leads me to my next one. The other half of my, Square Enix, I don't know, simping stan. I don't know what the word is, but I'm a slut for them. And the NX half is Dragon Quest, and the Square half is, of course, Final Fantasy. And Final Fantasy VII Revelation has been revealed as the final part of the 3-part remake of Final Fantasy VII. We got a trailer for it with a bunch of content, a bunch of gameplay and cinematics, and it is confirmed for spring 2027.
Oh, that's another one I need to hop on the train for. Besides playing the original, I haven't played any of the remake trilogy yet.
I have a love-hate relationship with the remakes.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, I love them, with the exception of all the stuff they added to it. It's specifically like the whisper stuff in the first game, and all of the sort of what's the word I'm looking for, like alternate reality stuff in the second game.
Yeah.
If they had given us what they gave us and it was just otherwise a straight retelling of Final Fantasy VII with everything else, I would be 100% on board with it. But I'm trying to be non-judgmental. I'm waiting to see how the whole vision comes together before I just completely. But yeah, so
I definitely get that perspective. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, like with both games, I basically had the same pretty much response for both of them. Was that I am having an amazing time. I'm having an amazing time. I'm having an amazing time. And then I get to the final boss and I'm like, fuck this game.
Yeah, I can definitely get why, people would have issues with the changes they've made, because obviously the game and its story are held in such high regard, and that's why people were demanding a remake for it for so long before they finally did one. But I also really appreciate just how much extra they're putting into it when they could have just cashed out with a straight remake.
Sure.
So, yeah, I mean, I can see both ways, but certainly the third one will tell us whether it was worth it or not.
Right, yeah. And I don't mind, like, when I say all the stuff they added, like, it's literally just the story stuff, like all the extra side quest stuff. And I wasn't a super huge fan of like the open world stuff in Rebirth, but I certainly didn't mind it. And Rebirth was absolutely incredible from just a world building standpoint and just how expansive it was. But it's just the story, the extra story stuff that I'm like, eh.
Yeah, that's fair. Definitely the ending of Rebirth has made a lot of people wonder how the third one is going to cap it all out now.
Definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but those are some of the games that, thanks to their episodic nature in telling a single story, I have actually forced myself to complete as they come out. And Rebirth sure did take me 1 full year and 100 hours of gameplay. So it's going to be dangerous when Revelation skips my queue and pushes everything out another year or two.
That's me thinking I'm free from the chains of Persona, finally finishing 5, and then they finally tease 6. I'm like, no!
God, I never got into that.
That's 6 is not going to be out for a while. Come on.
That's fair. We've got time.
Will it be out before
that teaser was like nothing, and the first teaser between like before 5 and like when 5 came out was so long.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, in that sense, like, the Dragon Quest news was somewhat a relief along with disappointment, because I'm like, oh, thank God I don't have to add that to my backlog yet. I can ignore that for a few more years.
Yeah.
The funny thing about the not E3 was watching every game release like 2 months before. Like, God forbid, you release your game in August, August and September, because that's when everybody's releasing their games, to stay the fuck away from GTA. Or when they presume GTA is coming out because they still don't have a release date. Yeah.
Until the next delay, yes.
And then here comes the Godzilla Destroy All Monsters remake, and it's like, fuck you, we're coming out in November. Let's go.
That's the game of the year right there, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah, so as mentioned, what is that thing called? Summer Game Fest, something like that?
Summer Game Fest plus everything around it.
Right. So all of that happened, right after Dragon Quest anniversary. They had to make some acknowledgement of it being the 40th anniversary. And then right after that, today, as of recording, was the Nintendo Direct, which had a bunch of stuff for, Nintendo exclusives as well as cross-platform games.
They had a Dragon Quest game. It was like a Pokemon type of game or something.
Yeah, Dragon Quest Monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have the Pokemon clone of a Dragon Quest clone of Minecraft and a Dragon Quest clone of Pokemon.
They also announced an old school anime game.
That's right. Yeah, that's interesting.
Orbitals. Yeah. Looks. You were talking about. Will they remake Gundam? Like, it looks like it came straight out of Gundam era.
And yeah, definitely interesting.
Is that the split screen co-op one?
Yes.
I think so.
Yeah, I remember seeing the teaser for that a while back, and thinking it looked pretty fun. And yeah, that art style is very like retro HD, which obviously caught my eye more so than anything else. So,
right.
Yeah. So Nintendo Direct had all that stuff. Had the One Piece game we talked about. Had a Jujutsu Kaisen game that I'm sure is some reskin of some other game.
Oh, it is a literal Vampire Survivors reskin.
Cool. It's that, of course. To round out the Square Enix Trinity, we got another trailer for Kingdom Hearts 4. Of their 3 big franchises, it's the one I never really got that much into, and probably never will, because that's actually like you need to play every game ever released to understand it.
You're telling me you didn't play Kingdom Hearts 3.1.3, the Reckoning of Goofy?
I do use Kingdom Heart remake titles as jokes all the time, but I've never played them. They have surpassed even Evangelion titles.
Yeah.
But in addition to all that, they ended with the other franchise that I care about, Legend of Zelda, and they had almost 10 years ago, also now 2017, they came out with their Switch launch title, Breath of the Wild, and then everyone was like, this is the greatest game ever made. And they were like, oh shit, well, we better make a direct sequel to that then, and they did that with Tears of the Kingdom. And then they're like, all right, we've made the one direct sequel, we can't do that again. What can we do that can top the game that everyone's been calling the greatest game of the past 10 years? Let's just remake the one that everyone calls the greatest game of all time. So Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time is getting a full remake for Nintendo Switch 2 sometime this year. It last got a remake 15 years ago for the Nintendo 3DS. And that's pretty much all we know about it right now.
Yeah, full remake. Full remake. We're not one. Would just be a reskin. We literally don't know anything other than the internet is freaking out about it, both good and bad.
It was very shiny.
It was very shiny.
If they do another reskin after doing the reskin for 3DS, I feel like that'll be a bit much.
It will still sell 30 million copies.
Absolutely. And I will be there day one, and it will jump my queue. And sorry, Expedition 33, I'm never playing you, even though I know you're the greatest game of the last year or two. You are the first person I've ever heard anything but this was the greatest game of the past year or two.
I didn't play it, so I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm just sticking on brand of like dumping on stuff that I didn't touch.
Right, naturally.
Very self-aware of you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got some character development in the past 10 years. I appreciate it.
Playing up the bit.
Yeah.
Excellent. Love
I
it.
got one bit. I'm gonna play it up. That and not being able to pronounce names.
Naturally. Yeah, so that is the news that I cared about.
Just to get the tracks back onto the Gundam hype for a second, there was a Gundam game announced too. That looked pretty cool.
Yep.
I think it's called Gundam Rogue Orbit, but it's like an action game. Pretty fun.
And it's going to be a new universe they're creating for it.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's cool.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't know what that was, and then they showed the Gundam. I'm like, whoa, okay. I'm like, these character designs are not what I would have thought from a Gundam game.
Yeah.
Who said Gundam can be anything these days?
Gundam can be anything.
It's true.
All right. Anything else, Kestrel, for news stuff? Or was that the big ones? Also, I think what you need to do is just find some games that don't take several years to finish.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah.
All the games I care about. Yeah. Right.
They're all 60+ hour adventures.
Exactly.
So even folks who play games frequently still take a while, unless you're one of those people that like gets home from work and then puts on Persona or whatever, and then they're like, and then I played that for the next 9 hours.
Right.
I would never.
Couldn't be me.
Real quick to deny. Interesting.
Yeah, like I've never finished Tears of the Kingdom. I only finished Breath of the Wild once Tears of the Kingdom came out. Didn't finish Final Fantasy 16. Yeah, no, I'm not a good gamer. I'm very bad at this.
I play a lot of
How
games
dare
and barely finish any of them, so I mean, you know.
Yeah, but I play all story-based games, so like I want to know how they end.
Oh, it doesn't matter if the game I play has a story or not. I'm more likely to finish a game that doesn't have a story than one that does.
Interesting.
I have a sickness.
Kestrel, you're such a bad gamer. Next, you're gonna tell me you respect women.
Let's not go that far.
Okay. Okay.
Crossing some lines here.
Castro respects women more than those Korean video game companies do. That's all that matters.
Anything else on the news plate, or should we talk a little bit about some shows?
All I got.
All you got?
Showtime.
Awesome. So the season's been going on for a little while, and I think the first thing that everyone wants to know is if Mark, can gals be kind to otaku? Is it possible?
Yes, it is in fact possible.
All right, thanks for listening, everyone. We'll see you next time.
That's it. We've answered the big
you.
question.
Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. So the title, it has actually been used twice in it. It came from the at the very beginning, the main character, the otaku, who the girl in front of him, who's a gal, started talking to him, and he was like, "Oh, there's no way that she could actually be being friendly to me, you know, because I'm just a dirty otaku, and you know, she's way too popular for that." So it came from his insecurity, but then there's another one, another gal who is an otaku herself, and he actually, we was it last episode or the episode before, we got sort of like a bit of her backstory, and when she met the other gal, she was like, "I'd really like to be her friend, but there's no way she'd be my friend because gals can't be kind to otaku." So they're doing the whole thing where they're saying the title and getting us to cheer.
They should do like the invincible like panda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A clip of that came up in, I want to say, like my Instagram feed the other day, and I didn't realize, and Mark, you can certainly confirm this, they just call the otaku just otaku. Is that true, or
Otaku-kun? Yeah, they
so they
literally
really
call him Otaku-kun.
Yeah.
Man,
It's rough out here.
yes, it doesn't even get a name.
Even the gal who is an otaku herself calls him Otaku-kun. Like everybody does. It's just his nickname. One gal, her older brother calls him Otaku-kun. It's just that's his name now, apparently.
To be fair, that's also the case with Okarun from Don Don. He's just a cult coon. That's how he got his name.
Well, it's easier than calling him by his first name, because that would be just an absolute horrific breach of propriety.
True, can't do that.
Do the gals have names, or do they just go by Gal 1 and Gal 2, etc., etc.?
That would be hilarious, but no, they have names and people actually use their names. So,
Oh, such disrespect to the otaku-kun.
So what you're saying is gals can't be kind to otaku. Respects women.
I mean, it looks like you're enjoying. I mean, you gave it a B+, so it's got to be pretty good otherwise, right?
it's fun. Yeah, it's been a pretty fun series. I wouldn't call it necessarily. Well, I mean, of course, I wouldn't call it amazing, because if I called it amazing, I'd give it an A. But it's been pretty enjoyable. The characters are a lot of fun. It's been, it's fluffy. There's not, at least to this point, there's been nothing truly challenging in it or anything like that. Just a little slice of life show that doesn't expect too much of you, and doesn't ask, as long as you don't ask too much of it. So yeah, it's been fun.
It's like
I wish I had more to say than that. Yeah. I've sort of said before, I'm kind of a fan of the genre that I like to call Gyaru plus huge dork. And there are definitely ones that are better than others. But I would call this definitely. If you like that genre, then you would probably like this show, but it's not gonna blow your mind.
Gotcha. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it, even if they disrespect honorable otaku-kun.
Well, he seems to like it, so.
Oh, there it is.
So.
It's okay. It's similar to smoking behind the supermarket, where Sasuke gets called a geezer, and he seems to like it. So, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, I just wanted to check in on that show to make sure that we got your involvement, Mark, because I know we didn't last time, because your list doesn't really have anything in common with ours. So, wanted to ask. A show you should watch next season, because I'll be watching it and we can watch it together, is the Girls Can't Play Fighting Games. I saw that's airing.
I don't know that show. I don't know that series.
Is that the one that they literally play Street Fighter 6 in it?
They do. Yeah. Yep. Yes, they do.
I'm so excited for the future of the Gals Can't cinematic universe.
This one's gonna be great. I flipped through the manga a few times at Barnes and Noble. I'm like, these are actual fighting games in here. Is this gonna get an anime? And then lo and behold, when I was looking through what's coming up next season, there it is. I'm like, well, there's no way they're gonna have Street Fighter 6 in here. They're gonna have to figure something out. But
the first image I see on Google is a stitch of the main character next to promotional art of Ryu from Street Fighter 6.
Yep.
Wait, this is an actual tie-in.
Yeah,
I remember when that started, and everyone's all like, "Whoa, they're actually using the thing."
Yeah.
likes to do that because, like, in that Tony Kaku Kawaii show, there's an episode that they just spend playing literal Street Fighter as well.
Yeah, we can watch that for the gals can't do X type situation.
I am all for it, but I'm almost a little sad that they actually just play Street Fighter 6 because I always find it amusing when they start playing games that are clearly real life games, but it's like we're not licensing that, so here's Super Smash Brothers, but it's Barrio that's in it instead of
Let's play
Mario.
a game of Road Brawler 3.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say, like Alley Scuffle 6.
Yeah, pavement fisticuffs. Wait, just to go back a minute because I missed a bit of the smoking behind the supermarket discourse. I'm confused. So is it not actually out yet, but there's like mini series of it airing right now? Or
that's a good question that I was hoping maybe Mark could help answer, and we can segue into talking about it a little bit since I watched it and it is delightful. But I thought the mini episodes were the episodes, so
that is my understanding. Yeah, that they've basically taken the first 6 episodes. So Smoking Behind the Supermarket with You, the manga, is a monthly title, and so the chapters are really long. They're like 40 plus pages. And so basically it sounds like, going back to our discussion from earlier, like each episode is basically 2 of the chapters. And so they basically finished the first 6 episodes, and they have split them into these mini episodes. So like 1 chapter per mini-sode, basically, and release them to streaming ahead of the broadcast debut in July.
It's almost as diabolical. It's almost as diabolical as JoJo's Netflix abomination. Like, what's going on? What?
Yeah, so it's definitely it's a weird. I went ahead and watched it last night as well. I was sort of debating whether to hold off for the broadcast or to go ahead and dive in on it, and then we were talking about it last night. I was like, all right, fine, I'll go ahead and watch it.
You don't have it on your rankings here.
I don't.
A plus.
A minus.
Oh,
yeesh!
I have 2 disappointments with it as somebody who has read all of the manga a few times.
So it's done. The manga's finished.
No, I should say read what's out of the manga a few times. Yeah, there's 60 chapters in, I think, of the manga, and it depending on where they go from where it is right now, I could see it wrapping soon, but they could also obviously have some major twist plot line coming up that would change things. So I found everything pretty much played out as it plays out in the manga. I found Sasaki, and maybe it's just I'll need to go back and reread the manga. Maybe it's just me reading the manga differently than it is. I found him to be a bit more high strung in the anime, for lack of a better term, than I read him in the manga. That he sort of overreacts to things a bit more in this than he did in the anime than he does in the manga, which was sort of surprising to me. It was still funny, but he to me is a lot more stoic in the manga. But then Yamada Teyama, whatever you want to call her, Yamada, her real name. She also has every time this has kind of become a running joke for me with some people in my life, but it almost every single time like she greets him, she says something to the effect of Grats on finishing the hustle tonight, my dude. And I was really looking forward to her. It's so much so that there's actually a chapter where he says that to somebody, the guy that he works with, whose name I can't remember, that basically freaks out about everything. He says that to him when they're leaving work one night, and the guy's like, "What the hell is that? Like, who have you been hanging out with that gets you saying shit like that?" And so it kind of becomes a little bit of a thing where he realizes, wow, like she's really sort of changing, literally the way I talk. And I don't know, like that's always like a line that sort of jumped out at me. And I was really disappointed that I just watched 12 mini episodes and she didn't say it once.
Damn. Did they just translate it differently?
It might have been. It might have been, but she doesn't really say anything like that either.
Yeah. So. Though there are some weird subtitled things in this show that bothered me a little, and I don't know if maybe it's like a misunderstanding from what the manga does, like what you were saying, Mark, but at one point Sasaki calls the supermarket a low cortisol area. And I was like, nobody, a 40-year-old Japanese man is not gonna say that under any circumstances. Especially at this point, like you had mentioned that the way that she talks when she's Tayama in particular is rubbing off on him, like influencing the way he speaks, but that doesn't really happen in these mini episodes. I don't think that like a changing of his like speech patterns or vocabulary. But then at one point, I think it's when he was going into the supermarket to buy something, and then he got like embarrassed and left because he realized I think it was like he didn't actually need anything or like forgot his wallet or something. And then when she's like in Tayama form, so to speak, they're talking while he's having a cigarette, and she notices that he left because obviously she's Yamada and works at the register. And then he just goes like, the supermarket's such a low cortisol zone. I freaked out and left. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't know what that was about either. That was definitely a weird one. So I'm not sure. I don't have an answer for you.
There's a couple of those. At one point, I think it's in another conversation behind the grocery store, and I want to say it's Sasaki. Also says something about being a simp. What
is going on with that translation?
We're getting Gen Z translators now. They're like, Sasaki, I'm getting mogged in the supermarket. I gotta go Smokemaxxing in the back.
Yeah, I've got a tobacco max out in the back with Tayama. Yeah, so those are some strange things, but it is interesting to know that in the manga, he sort of starts talking like her a little bit because she is younger, and just hanging around with her, like they influence each other's behaviors and stuff. You just didn't get that in the mini episodes necessarily. Like, you haven't spent enough time around any of them to really figure that out. Now, that being said, I do really like the series. It's another classic thing where like the smoking is really just an excuse for social interaction. It feels a lot of the time. Yes. Like Sasaki just eventually just starts going behind the supermarket to see her, and then he doesn't even smoke all of the time. He's just kind of there because he knows that she'll be there. Also, the manager vapes, which lame.
Total oral loss, dude.
But yeah, it's a really nice little show, and to be honest, I kind of like it as mini episodes. It's I'd be interested to see how they put it into like a 20-minute episode, even if it's like 2 vignettes and stuff, because it just feels like such a nice, compact little story. It's Sasaki goes to work and gets very stressed out at work. He then goes to the supermarket, even if he doesn't need to. And if Yamada's there, he talks to her at the register. If she's not, then he talks to her as Tayama in the back, and they have little conversations that go anywhere from just what they did that day to like things that are a little bit deeper, even on like a subtle standpoint. And then she teases and flirts with him a little bit as well because he's an old fart, pretty much, even though he's just like 40
He's a
years
geezer.
old.
Get it right.
Yeah, he's a geezer, even though he's like fucking 40.
Yeah.
Ancient.
Yeah.
Pretty sure
He's
30-year-olds qualify as geezers in anime.
I know.
I think his official title is Chopped Unk.
That's what it says in the credits.
Well, it's the same thing, right? That you see in so many series where you get like these women who are like 24 and still single, and oh, I'm a spinster. I'm gonna die alone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's so there's a little bit of that, but it's all in good fun and
All in good fun, yeah.
yeah.
And I would say for the pacing part, like I think when we get the full episodes, unless the mini episodes are not, are something different, I think we're going to get basically the same thing. It's just like where we watched, say, mini episodes 1 and 2 as their own things, they'll just be combined together as one episode. You'll watch the first one, and then you'll get the commercial, end cap or whatever. Well, I can't think of the word I'm looking for. And then come back from commercial, and now here we are. Yeah, eye catch. Yeah,
End cap.
End cap. Yeah.
I mean, it's a supermarket show, right?
Yeah, I know.
It is a supermarket show. Yeah. And then you come back and you get mini episode number 2. So I think probably pacing wise, it'll be the same sort of thing. It's just you get 2 of them instead of just the one, or 12 at once.
Yeah.
I kind of like the idea of, like, when I think about it as the mini episode itself is like, you got to think about it as the length of a smoke break that like they're going out and having. I don't know.
Oh,
I
that's
feel like
interesting.
that kind of helps reconfigure it a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good way to put it. It also helps in the short form version that it is where like nothing happens in this show. Like it's quite literally Sasaki goes to work and either deals with a piece of shit manager that stresses him out, or he accidentally, because he's a quote unquote scary looking guy, like scares a new person at work, and then he gets kind of down in the dumps, and then he goes to the grocery store and talks to one of the 2 versions of the lady protagonist, Tayama or Yamada, and then he goes to sleep. And that's it. So
Pretty much it. Yeah.
having it be short form, I think, is almost like a strength because of that. You get them in like smoke break style things.
Right.
I was also surprised at how, because I know we've been joking about how smoking is fucking sick and is back.
Joking?
But yeah, smoking is so good. But I was just talking to Emily when we were watching through the first episode or 2 about like one of the things that they never talk about in any of these like animes or shows for the most part is it's so cool. It's so easy to look cool smoking when you don't have to like smell the person or any of their stuff. And the show actually deals with that like right away. It is a plot point that comes up right away, is like them getting in trouble at work for smoking and smelling like smoke, and then how they deal with it. So there's a little bit of like conversation about the societal kind of reckoning and outcast status they have as smokers, especially compared to people who vape and things like that. So that was a little bit refreshing. It wasn't just like, look how cool they are. It's like, no, they also deal with the fact that their clothes smell all the time and they have to buy like special mists and brush their teeth a lot and et cetera, et cetera. So I was pleasantly surprised by that. And also there's a lung cancer scare in one of the episodes too. It doesn't stop them from smoking. It doesn't stop them from smoking, but at the very least, it's kind of there, especially like given the context of the situation, because it's like, well, yeah, lung cancer's bad, but it was also, and I chuckle a little bit about it after the fact. It's like, well, now I can't see Tayama anymore because I can't smoke. Like,
I have no reason to go to the smoking area.
Yeah. So it does,
because you certainly wouldn't try to see somebody, somewhere else.
Yeah, this is very much a smoking area, a restricted relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, overall, I think it's really nice. It's similar, I think, Mark, to what you were saying with like the gals show. Like it doesn't expect too much of you because it's just a very kind, considerate, like overworked salaryman trying to find some type of companionship with this person at this grocery store, and then the other version of her that he can't help but never pick up on the fact that they're the exact same person.
Right. Because, well, to be fair, she wears her hair differently. So, that's...
Yeah, that's true.
Clearly.
She gives him the Batman effect.
Right, yeah. But yeah, going back to the pacing part, I mean, I think one of the things that really helps this is the fact that it's long chapters, and when you read it, they're paced very similarly to like we've got the show. Like it's just sort of almost kind of methodical, and gives you plenty of time to just kind of like appreciate the moments. And this shows the anime adaptation so far seems to have really leaned into that. And that is, I think one of the strengths of it, that really helps you get to feel the characters, get to know the characters. Yeah, I like you. I did really like the mini episode format more than I thought I was going to. But and hopefully it won't. The switch to the full episodes won't really affect that too much. But as I said, I think the way the manga just kind of takes things slowly and the anime has just rolled with that, I think helps it out a lot. And helps that feeling of, yeah, we're just here kind of two, the old cliche, two lonely souls looking to be lonely together, while looking cool while smoking.
Yeah. It one more thing and then we'll move on to another show that I want to talk about, because I put it in the one podcast chat, and then I think it's also an interesting view on some of the best and worst things about the Japanese work culture, at least as we like understand it here, and they still struggle with it over there. Is Sasaki works at a really shitty job with a really shitty manager, just doing like Excel spreadsheets and paperwork until like 1:00 in the morning and things like that. And that's the bad side. And then the good side is like Tayama/Yamada has been at that grocery store for 8 years working as a teller, and she lives alone in an apartment in Tokyo and seems to get around just fine. And I was like, God, that must be nice. You work your night shift and sometimes a day shift at the grocery store, then you go back to your 1-bedroom apartment style thing in Tokyo City or whatever, and then that's it. You have enough to live and apparently smoke a shitload of cigarettes. And
shitload of cigarettes.
Yeah, a ton.
I always again, reading the manga, I always figure like he comes and joins her and they have a cigarette and then move on. And like, no, they're like lighting up every 5 seconds.
They're blasting darts, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, they're both fucking chimneys. Like, it's incredible. There's one mini episode where she gets pissed off because her manager tells her that she smells like cigarettes. And when Sasaki goes to meet her for their like little smoke break, the ashtray is piled and overflowing with cigarette butts. Because she's just been out there furiously smoking to try to like calm down after being criticized for it. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing. Amongst other things, you could also say there's definitely some like gender role reversal in this, because she's so cool and is flirting with him, and Sasaki as the dude is the one who's flustered all the time and acting embarrassed at every one of her like come-ons, innocent or otherwise, and things, and normally you see that reversed, so that's also interesting. But yeah, I know it's just like one anime, but I mean I've seen it in a bunch of others. Like it's like people can work at a 7-Eleven or whatever and be able to at least live somewhat comfortably in an apartment, and here stateside, you'd work at the Sheetz or Wawa or local gas station, and then you're living with 6 other people in a studio apartment to try to make that work. So just a little thing.
That's a factor of the Japanese real estate market. Whereas, like, you buy something here, and unless it burns to the ground, it accrues in money. You buy something in Japan, and it decrues in money. It is a money pit. Like, your house will depreciate in value the older it is in Japan.
I think they also just have a lot of smaller places too, I reckon, as well.
Oh yeah.
Like the housing is more condensed. You don't have a lot of stuff like well, LA is a little bit different for Kestrel, but I reckon out when you were living over on this side, there was a lot of like single family home developments where it's like acres and acres and acres and acres of land, and then there's just like 4 houses.
Yeah.
So that fucks that up too. But yeah.
No, it's definitely much easier to just live in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
And the houses appreciate in value in America if you can afford to buy a house.
Indeed.
How they get you.
That's how they do. But yeah, just a couple other observations I had that I thought were interesting. I was like, yeah, she just does her thing and then lives, and that wouldn't happen over here. But yeah. Cool. Kestrel.
Yo.
I want you to tell me a little bit about this baseball anime. Is this like Dragon Ball Z, or is this more? Is this Prince of Tennis, or are we talking a little bit more realistic? Like, I'm curious, especially once in the chat you threw out the Koshin word.
On a scale of Prince of Tennis to Baby Steps, where are we?
Where are we sitting?
Yeah, no, it's definitely more on the baby step side. It's it's just kind of a standard high school baseball anime that has gone for almost 200 episodes so far. And there's no superpowers to speak of, really. There are certainly long build-ups and reactions to dramatic moves that players can make, but that's pretty par for the course when it comes to shonen sports.
Is this a show that's like one guy's really good in carrying the team? Because that's what I feel like when I see Ace of the Diamond. Like, it's probably the pitcher. I know nothing about this at all, so I'm just It's probably the pitcher, and I'm assuming he's good and the rest of the team is bad, or he like was bad and now has gotten really good and the rest of the team has grown with him, hence Koshian. Those are my 2 guesses on how that goes.
It's somewhere in that area, and of course it has developed a lot over the course of 200 episodes. But basically, it's a guy who's the only good player in middle school, gets recruited to join this team that is not very strong, but has some strong players in it in high school, and then he gets into a rivalry with another really good pitcher who joins in the same year as him and loses the position of ace to him for a long time, and gradually kind of improves, and the team improves, and we get to meet everyone and get to see their strengths, and he learns his special pitching techniques, and at this point in the story he is a very successful member of the team and pitcher. Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Already being scouted by the Dodgers at that point.
Right.
Just moved him to LA, just straight up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's one that's been like, I've known the name for a long time, because when you look up like best modern sports manga or anime, this one comes up relatively frequently, but I had never looked into it past that, because there's a lot of baseball ones in particular. So I was interested to see that you were watching it, because I know you're not really into sports, so that means there has to be something else about it that makes it good. There has to be some type of drama element or character development or something along those lines that kind of push it above just sports shonen number 2 or anything like that.
Yeah, I think initially the animation quality was what pulled me in, because it started in 2013. It's been a lot of years since the previous season until this one started. But yeah, it started in 2013, and it was a co-production of Madhouse and Production IG. And the initial season...
That's a good lineup right there.
Yeah, right. The initial season ran for quite a few years. It was very long. And it was, very high quality for being that long running of a series, and had some good music, and it definitely, the characterizations drew me in, and the shonen rivalries, and the sprinkling in of kind of shonen power-ups without it being so far removed like Prince of Tennis or Kuroko. So it struck a decent balance, and just being steadily released for a few years every week just kind of got me invested in the characters and their stories. This latest season that started, I think this is the fourth season. There are two manga series, which one's just a direct sequel to the next one. So there was the first season and the second season, then Act 2, then Act 2 second season, which we're on now, just because the manga switched to being called Act 2, new Prince of Tennis, right? And with the first, I don't even know why the first two seasons were considered different seasons, because they were both adapting the same manga sub-series, and the second season started the week after the first season ended, so you could say that was just one season. But that was 175 episodes straight, and that was all Madhouse and IG. And then Act 2 came sometime later, and that was just Madhouse, but it was still solid, as Madhouse generally is. And then it's been a ton of years, and then finally we got Act 2 second season. And I think this one's OLM, and they've done some great stuff. They did Apothecary Diaries, but this season is definitely not up to the quality that the previous ones were. So I was a little hesitant going into it, and I'm still not at the top of my list, obviously. But I guess kind of returning to these characters that I've been following on and off for 12, 13 years, 200 episodes. I'm in too deep, maybe. Even though it's just a sports shonen in high school. But yeah, no, I do kind of care about their trajectories and how they improve themselves and their relationships. So yeah, I wouldn't say it's necessary watching, but if you want to spend hundreds of episodes in a baseball anime, I have enjoyed most of it.
So what you're telling me is there's not a single player that can throw a ball fast enough that makes batters see previous historical eras or
sadly
fall
no.
to their knees.
Yeah.
There might be some of that. I mean, generally every team has, one or two superstars who has their strength that is just mind-blowing, and everyone in the audience and the press and the coaches and everything are just oh my god, my mind is blown. But it's not literally supernatural. I don't know, they show oh, the pitch speeds, it's 150 kilometers per hour, and I'm that means nothing to me. Is that good? I don't know. It's probably good for a 15-year-old.
Number big.
Yeah. Everyone seems pretty excited about it on screen, so it's probably a good thing.
Yeah, it's 93. That's 93 mph, so that's good. That's approaching MLB level fastball.
That's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
It's probably 14.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's not quite MLB level for an elite fastball, but I mean, also the kid's probably still going through puberty, so there's a good chance that'll be 115 miles per hour by the time he's old enough to get up there.
By the time he's ace of Dodgers.
Yeah, exactly. And he's got a $87 million contract deferred over the next 38 years or something like that.
Oh, geez.
But yeah, the whole Koshien thing is kind of fascinating, because it's Japanese adults actually care about high school athletes in this context. And that's like a real thing. It's not just made up for anime. And of course, most shonen is going to be about shonen young boys. And most sports titles are going to follow, kids who are not making millions of dollars, who just care about their sport because it's what they care about, and they're going through all their adolescent shit, and that's playing into their characterization instead of just being top celebrities that everyone in the world loves. So the fact that Japan actually has that as an opportunity to explore something that both the public legitimately cares about and that we can explore through kids still developing and still learning. And, of course, we have right now a plot about one of the characters who is in high school and got an injury and is demanding to keep playing. And they're like, well, this injury will stop you from her playing for the rest of your life. And he's like, but right now, this team, this year is all that matters to me. So, yeah, we've got all those tropes in play.
Yeah, you cannot have a sports shonen without a 17-year-old child who's willing to ruin his entire adult life. Yeah, he can only cripple himself for life for his high school sports team.
Absolutely, yeah.
But yeah, the Koshien is a big fucking deal over there. Not too dissimilar from like the Hakone Ekiden from Run with the Wind when that show was around, and that is like another real sporting event in Japan that they take more seriously than the Olympics. And the Koshien is of a similar nature. Like you can see videos occasionally like posted on various social medias of like some of the crowds, and they're like filling stadiums of people going to see just random high schools play baseball against each other. So it's not even like they're filling up the stadium to see like the next big baseball talent. It'll just be two random schools in this tournament. Right. And the stadium is full and causing like small earthquakes with the sheer amount of noise coming out of them. It's incredible. Like there's a baseball game where you can play through Koshien that we're getting an English version of here, like a translated version, I think sometime late this summer, called like Baseball Superstars or something. And it's meant for you to play in like the Japanese Pro League, but there is a mode where you just join a high school team and you try to play through Koshien, I think. And that's also a lot of fun. So it's a big enough deal that they pop it into a video game and give it actual love.
Yeah, I mean, if they're forming seismic events from the audience there, then maybe Ace of Diamond is kind of underplaying it, honestly.
That's true. That's true. If there's any like anime or sport where they could play that part of it up, it'd probably be this.
Right. I mean, granted, it's mostly just, this school year they're hoping to go to Koshien.
Yeah.
But yeah, the protagonist's on his second year of high school currently. So, we've got to see the other sports shonen trope of, all the seniors retire and we get the newbies and the former first years get to be like, the senpai now and all that stuff. So yeah, I don't know if the manga's still going. Act 2 of the manga might still be going. But I assume the idea is to eventually cover all of high school, which is 3 years.
There's somebody who thought that they should be captain that got passed over for being captain.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Now they're out for revenge.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, there's huge rivalries, especially between the teams and sometimes among people on the same team. But there's nothing too bitter in terms of those relationships.
Okay.
So yeah, it's not too bad.
I was really bummed because I've been trying to I've been wanting a new baseball anime or manga to really capture me, because it's one of the few lanes of sports that hasn't really grasped me in terms of an anime or manga. And they had one air in Shonen Jump last year, and it lasted 20-ish chapters. And of course, the way it ended is that they fast forward to them at Koshien living their dream, their rival battle at Koshien, and then it ends.
Naturally.
That's a bummer.
Yeah, that'll definitely go on the long list of ones that I should read or watch. Similar to, was it One Outs, like the gambling baseball one, and Cross Game? Is that the baseball one?
Yeah. Oh, Cross Game's my favorite for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Mitsuo Adachi just made like 100 different baseball series that all look indistinguishable from each other.
Yeah.
But I think that's.
I was actually just gonna. I don't know that this was ever released over here or not, but I really loved his Touch. If you ever saw that, where it's twin brothers, who are both really good at baseball, but one's the star, the other one's kind of lazy. Then the one who's the star gets killed. He dies. And so it leaves it up to the lesser brother to carry his torch.
Damn.
Along with his girlfriend.
Yeah.
Because of
Don't
course.
worry. Cross Game is also about baseball and similar tragedy with the same character designs.
Kane, just to add another to your list, I've only seen the first episode years ago, like 15 years ago, but I liked it then and have not watched anymore. But Big Wind Up. First episode of Big Wind Up was like good, emotional. Baseball.
I think I remember that one a little bit when it came out.
Yeah, that was a Funimation release.
Yeah, that one sounds familiar at the very least. But yeah, I think I'm kind of in a similar boat with you, Brand. Though I don't have a lot of like baseball anime or manga under my belt, but finding one that could hold my attention for a good while would be nice. Ace of Diamond seems like that's a good one because it's also apparently quite long because the anime is 200 episodes, so the manga must be quite sizable as well.
Yeah, the manga's been licensed at all, but yeah, I think it's still going.
Nice, very good. Alrighty, hey Bran.
Yes.
What do you think about the woke disaster that's Witch Hat Atelier?
Honestly, not woke enough.
No, it's not leftist enough for me, man.
I'm enjoying it. I feel like it's landed kind of in the middle of my list, mainly because I'm just specifically enjoying a few shows more. Like they're all in the same tier of enjoyment, but like some of them are scratching an itch better than it is. But I really like the show in terms of its just like world building and the character and creature designs and stuff. So yeah, it's nice.
Yeah. Are you caught up like on the show and everything?
Yes, I believe I watched the newest episode today, which she's starting like the trial, the second test or whatever.
Yeah, there's the giant brush buddy.
Yes, the giant brush buddy. That was great.
The most important part of the show is the brief scene with the giant brush buddy.
Yeah. I really like that instructor's design too. She seems pretty cool.
Yeah, she has a good part in the manga, like off and on. That's really interesting how her character sort of plays out, especially with some of the girls and other like younger witches that you meet too in this test and others. She's really cool. I like her a lot as well. But
yeah, I will say I really was not enjoying the dickhead witch that showed up and was like, yeah, this is my shitty apprentice. I wish I can just like get rid of him, but can't do that.
Yeah.
But I'll leave him for you guys to do the test. So see ya.
Yeah, that dude fucking sucks. Like, I think he may be the first witch you see in that universe that like has an apprentice and like clearly hates him.
Yeah,
because you get so used to how Keyfree cares about all the girls and everything, that it's refreshing in a way to see like, oh, okay, so you can become a teacher in this world too and still be a shithead.
Yeah,
Like-
it just kind of like it felt so jarring because everyone else, is to an extent an upstanding person. They have their personality quirks or whatever, but no, this guy's just a straight up dickhead.
Yeah, because he's Kifri. I remember reading that in the manga, and I was like, Kifri should just slap this dude. Like, just call.
Yeah.
No one's gonna press charges. Not
Yeah.
out here.
It was pretty sick. He's just like, sorry, did you say something? It's just he shut him down pretty quick.
Yeah, and the guy doesn't even bother to stick around for like the test in any way. Like, the least he could have done is just hang out for a little while. I mean, he clearly thought his apprentice is gonna fail in the first like 10 minutes anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is another really good like mini arc, this test and everything. You get some good character development that you've already gotten for like Richa and everything, and like her whole attitude behind nobody can tell me what to do or how to do magic or book learn and things.
Yeah.
And I was talking to Emily a little bit after the last episode aired, and she's like, I'm glad we're getting like character development and things in them because they're all interesting, but sometimes they're really annoying. I'm like, well, they're kids. She's like, yeah, no, I understand that they're kids. I get it. It's just
Yeah.
She's like, this is why I couldn't be a teacher.
Oh yeah, for sure. No, I totally agree with Emily. It's like, I know that like Agate probably has like a very tragic backstory and all this, but like the way she treats Coco for like most of the show so far, I've just been like, oh my god, just like give her a break for a second.
Yeah.
But
I was having the exact same thoughts watching last night. I was like, man, all of these kids suck. All right, they're kids. Kids do suck. This is realistic. Okay.
Yeah, they all suck in their own ways, but none of them are too terrible where it's like just unbearable, and they all have good reasoning. This is such a weird spot for me to be in as someone who's read the manga, which never fucking happens. I'm just like, no,
that's true.
Just like give them time. They all have really good reasons. I swear.
It's like the character development's coming. I swear.
I don't doubt it. I've always known that would be the case, and like they pretty early on, they're like, yeah, this is a little tease on why Agat's such a bitch. So I know that's all happening eventually.
You kind of get the running theme by this point that like some adult in the past to most of these kids was a complete piece of shit to them.
Exactly.
Yeah. That seems to be the point of the whole show is like magic is only bad when a bad adult is handling it. So
yeah.
How even a world full of magic can still just have utter like dickheads, and it only serves as another like way of separating the haves and have-nots and all sorts of things. But yeah, it's this is a really good little arc as well, and I'm really excited to see how they're going to animate some of the shit with the brimmed cap that you'll get introduced to, because there's some fucking about in this cave because of how like twisty turny it is.
Yeah, this is a pretty shit gets real arc in the manga, but it's like I don't know how far are they gonna get through it? It's like it's
right. There's only like what 2-3 more episodes.
Yeah, I'm expecting like a major cliffhanger of sorts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it depends on how they handle some of the big inciting events. If they're just like, oh shit, and then move on, or if they spend a lot of time on them. I could see it going either way, honestly, and it would be fine. Like some of the moments are just like more presented almost plainly, and then they deal with it like emotionally later rather than spending like an episode of something happening. Yeah, it'll be interesting. The one thing I'd forgotten about the second test is the we also disguise ourselves as bird things.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. The weird freaky penguins things. Yeah.
Yeah, like the puffin griffin like hybrid things.
I know they're like, oh, griffins, and I'm like, those are fucking penguins. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
I was like, in what world?
It is.
Yeah.
It's super interesting. The manga, like the whole story period, on how some of these arcs too, and some of the things that they say show the duality of like magic and people in here, where the practitioner for the test is like, well, we built this thing a long time ago and it cut right through their land, so now we have to do our part to make sure we don't just restore the ecology and don't damage everything, so we do our best to like escort them through this fucked up cave so they can go make babies and stuff. And then some guy will get his leg blown off and they'll be like, we don't there's nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Sorry, man. Like how arbitrary these limits are that they put on and everything, and how they'll go so full out for some of these, like taking accountability, and then on other areas they're just like, nah man, witches can't like do anything to help you with your your stage 4 lung cancer.
I mean, they probably shouldn't have been smoking behind the supermarket if they didn't want that. Yeah, no,
but it's so sexy.
Pretty sexy, yeah. It's definitely interesting to have the, we can't use magic on humans at all limitation, and what that introduces, and kind of the moral dilemma about, healing people, saving people in a medical sense. So, yeah, that's something unique, I feel, that I haven't really seen explored before. Like, yeah, the system in general is cool, and I don't know, as a programmer, I guess I kind of appreciate the logic behind it more than most magic. Obviously, a lot of magic systems use magic circles that you have to draw, but the very specific input-output system that they have established makes sense. But yeah, the whole, we have sworn off affecting human beings in any way, definitely puts a different wrinkle in it.
Yeah, it's kind of gnarly in the previous episode where I think they point out, they're like, yeah, when they put the pact in order, and they, the last witches to protest were the healers, so they had to go. It's
Right.
like, what? You just nuked all of yeah, they just nuked like all their medical knowledge. It's like,
Exactly.
That doesn't seem particularly wise to me,
Right.
Yeah, and there's something to be said. It's like, okay, so you are more than willing to like gatekeep the entire magical system from everybody and give like the humans medicine back, sort of, to like almost almost give them a bone so they don't feel like they're complete second class like people. But you couldn't find a way to like just legislate the healing portion.
Mm-hmm.
Like make like a special branch of the Knights Morales for make a Law and Order fucking SVU for medical magic stuff, like just specialized units that make sure nothing crazy goes on there, and then you can still have healing, but they'd rather just blow it all up and then just go full CIA on people.
They literally had to patch it out of the game. It was too overpowered.
Yeah. So true.
Yeah, I'm glad you are you're enjoying it.
Yeah,
Brand. So I think it could be something really special if it keeps going at the quality it has now, especially as it gets through some of these and you move more towards like Silver Night Festival and all that, and you get more background on like how Keyfree is like a Jekyll and Hyde type character the second you start talking about brim cap people, like those witches.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what I'm most looking forward to, is the like Kiefer's direct encounters with the brim caps, and like more on him outside of just being a teacher. So
yeah, seeing like his dark side juxtaposed with his perfect teacher persona.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he ain't afraid to snuff you out. He will.
Right.
He'll do it.
And
Yeah.
it is 2 episodes left for the anime, so I assume it will end with confirmation of season 2, but for now, that's where it's going to end.
Oh, yeah, I gotta believe it.
Interesting. Well, I mean, I have an idea or two where they would end it, based off of how this test goes. So we'll see what they plan on there. But cool. Okie dokie. Do you guys want to talk about Akane Banashi a little bit, since that's I know it was interesting sounding when we talked about it last, and there were some questions about how good they were going to make the story and things, because isn't it another making riveting content out of something weirdly Japanese?
Very much
A
so.
very, very niche art.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean it's still good. I'm a few episodes behind, but I read it, so I know what's going down. But it's in the it's funny because for as niche and different as it is, the story structure itself is pretty formulaic for a shonen type story of okay, she had her quote unquote tragic backstory in the first episode, and she's been training, and she's finally gonna go to her first tournament and basically compete at this the Karaku Cup and stuff. So for as weird as it is, it's very, I feel easy to latch onto and follow along. And yeah, it's been pretty good so far. Nothing mind-blowing animation-wise, but the voice performances, of course, are the what carries it for a performative art that is mostly talking. So but it's good. Her doing Jugenmu, which is very well known even outside of knowing anything about Rakugo. I don't know if they actually had to just speed her voice up, or if she was actually doing it at a lightning pace, but I thought that part was really impressive.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's basically the same as Ace of Diamond to me. It's a sports shonen.
Yeah,
I would not watch baseball in any other context. I would not watch Rakugo in any other context. As the thing that these characters care about more than anything in the world. It's entertaining enough. But yeah, I definitely have not gotten the sense that it's transcendent, I feel a lot of people have said about it, and maybe that's just later in the manga. And yeah, I don't think it's an exceptionally produced adaptation either. But like you said, obviously the voice performance is something that they focus a lot on, and that's been pretty solid, and it can get a little boring to just watch someone do Jugamu for an entire episode, but
yeah,
no more boring than watching a high school baseball game take place over the course of an entire season. So yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I will say I do think the content it does get more interesting as it goes on, because there are actually some stakes added, and the way Akane evolves her form of Rakugo is interesting. But yeah, we are still very much in the throes of she's just getting her footing. Like you said, it's like watching a game of baseball from amateurs. It's just yep, this is I guess where you got to start somewhere. It's also hard going into a show like this, and if you have no other reference for a Rakugo anime besides Genroku Rakugo Shinju, that it's a tough
Hard
comparison.
not to compare them. Yeah,
that's top 10 all time show. So, but yeah, I think it'll pick up steam. I think this season, by the end of it, will it'll be solid by the end. But yeah, I'll continue.
We're getting close, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
we're at an awkward part of the season right now, because we're about 2 episodes out of finishing most shows.
Yeah. But yeah, it definitely has been the balance between, okay, I know this is a completely different demographic, completely different genre, but man, wasn't it a lot more entertaining when they did this same Rakugo performance in that show?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that going on.
Yeah. Yeah, it's hard not to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, like when it's specifically a performance of the same story, you can't not remember back to your other frame of reference for that.
Yeah. I think
Although,
the only other frame of reference I have too is Joshiraku, which is like a comedy anime, and it hits a little different too when like they're purposefully trying to make you laugh. So
right. Yeah, they all have kind of different intentions, and
yeah,
obviously the sports shonen kind of reactions and commentary is going to be very different from the psychological aspect of Genroku Rakugo Shinju.
Yeah. This is more of a fastball than a, change up or whatever.
Sure.
A knuckleball.
Absolutely. These are all words that I now hear every Sunday.
That's true. You should know everything about baseball at this point, Kestrel.
Absolutely. Actually, my first frame of reference for Jugemu was Gintama.
Yep. Yeah. That's true. Cube, dude. I feel that's funny.
Also, I have the Gintama soundtracks, and I have all the tracks just in my shuffle of my library. And one of the songs, it's probably Cube singing it. It's just the Jugemu from Gintama, his entire name, just being sung across the course of the song. So I kind of get to hear Jugemu whenever that happens to pop up when I'm working.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Some Isaac Schneider's in there.
All talked out of Akane Banashi.
Yeah, not much left to say on it. I think it's I'm enjoying it. But yeah.
Cool. All right, how about we wrap up talking about one more show, and I believe, Kate, you're watching Slime, right?
Slime.
How is Slime? Still slimy?
Slime is still slime.
Still. Is that the one that got like what's the one I'm thinking of? Because I don't watch it. It's like it got like weirdly political and slow for a long time.
Yeah, that was Slime. There was a whole season that was basically them sitting around a table discussing politics, and people were obviously rightfully losing their goddamn minds because it was just episode after episode, nothing happening except people talking around a table. This season's pacing is much better, and I don't think that has anything to do with the anime so much as like the light novel's pacing was better at this point. And they didn't spend quite as much time lingering on fucking around in his video game dungeon that he made. And which takes up like half of one of the light novels from what I remember. It just went on forever. It was like sidetrack much. It had but they've gone hard on the political intrigue. So there's been politics. It's just been way more engaging politics this time around. But it's still Rimuru is still acting as the best demon lord that ever lived by instead of randomly killing people, recruiting them to his side. So he's just like, there's like crazy assassin lady shows up. She has a gun. How did she get a gun into this universe? Doesn't matter. She's summarily thwarted in her efforts and removed from the lead evil person's control, and immediately flip sides, like with barely any effort on Rimuru's part to like. She's like begging to like, can I work for you? And he's like, I guess so. Sure, okay. Here's our company cafeteria. And she's like, sold. So, yep, that's the state of Slime right now. This season's villain is a little girl who was reincarnated from Earth, who was a horrible war profiteer, and I think implied that she was responsible for a stock market crash in the history of of the universe before she died there and was reborn into that world, back into whatever the world that slime takes place in is called. So yep, she's currently an evil little girl who just wants to take over the world because that's what they do. That's what villains do. So yeah, that's slime.
It's definitely just called Slime World. Run with that.
It's kind of funny that I don't think I remember if that world has a name or anything.
I mean, I feel like most isekai worlds don't have a specific name.
It's just the world.
Yeah, right. It's just the Dragon Quest world. All Japanese fantasy just takes place in Dragon Quest.
Pretty much.
So you can just go full.
It's called Central Axis World. Okay, I don't think they've ever mentioned that.
Interesting.
Wow.
I just had to Google that. I'm like, what is this called? Okay, Central Access World.
That's worse than it not having a name. They should have just left that one blank.
Yeah, I like Slime World better.
Well, it says it's like in English it's like the Central World, but in literally it's from Japanese it's Central Access World. So okay then. The world. It's the world.
So wild.
Kestrel, you're giving this a B+ as well, so clearly you're also enjoying your time in Slime World.
Yes, very slimy. Yeah, I was glad when they got out of the whole let's make our own dungeon for people to compete in. I feel like, I don't know, I don't remember much about the previous season, but I don't remember liking it very much. And I know they had a lot of that in there. So I'm glad that I have so far been enjoying this one a bit more. Not as much as I loved Slime back in the day for like the initial, Demon Lord stuff. But yeah, it's good. And I'm always intrigued to see kind of like the power scaling of the villains in the sense that we meet a lot of antagonists who, well, half of them become protagonists, and then the other half most of them don't get like immediately dealt with. They just kind of end up answering to some other bigger antagonist. So you have a previous antagonist now answering to this little girl who's now setting up for the next, I assume, bigger antagonist after her. And yeah, I'm interested. I enjoy Rimuru and his nation of peace and harmony. And yeah, the fact that he got his position by sacrificing like billions of lives. Pretty cool. He's a cool guy.
It was only what? I can't remember how many people he actually had to kill.
Thousands
must die.
It wasn't a massive number. It was an army.
Yeah. It qualified as a massacre, I think.
It was a massacre. I mean, I don't think every single one of those dudes was a horrible rapist.
Right, exactly.
But yeah,
now, Yeah. Now he gets to welcome everyone into his warm embrace. Yeah. No, it's a good time. Like I said, it's had its ups and downs for me. So the fact that this season is somewhere in the middle is just fine by me. Also, this season, it's so stupid what they consider seasons these days. So you know how we've had split core? This season is going to be a 5-part split core. So it's actually one season split amongst 5 seasons with breaks in between each of the 5 seasons, which I would say means they're not one season.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Like,
I don't think anybody knows how TV is supposed to work anymore.
What does that achieve? The same thing with like Attack on Titan final season part 3. It's like, okay, at what point are we not just calling it season 6 or whatever?
Season part 3, part 2, chapter 2.
I don't know if it's like a bureaucratic thing, like, oh, well, the committee is paying up, like, we budgeted out to this point, so we count that as one thing.
Exactly. That's pretty much how it works, is the production committee exists for a season, and so it has to be declared one season, even if it's functionally split across 5 seasons.
And we wonder why this industry hasn't crumbled to dust yet.
Incredible.
Bravo, Vince. Oh.
Alrighty. Well, we're rolling up on the time that we usually hit for these episodes, so I think we can roll around to our recommendation slots for the evening. I'm not sure if anyone has anything that's really itching at their brains, but it's been a while, so and I know we were pretty flexible on what is and is not considered good for recommending anymore. So I figured we could start with Brian, you have anything to recommend?
Oh, no, not really.
Oof.
I was like, please don't start with me. I was like, wait, let me look at my
I could feel that energy all the way over here.
I guess I can recommend stuff we didn't talk about. Definitely watch Dorohedoro if you haven't watched that yet. I thought the second season was really good. A very confusing plot wise, but still very good. I think it looks even better than the first season did. And yeah, watched Nippon Sangoku. That's probably my other favorite show of the season. And then yeah, that's about it. Oh, I guess if I can recommend a game, I'm gonna go against the grain here, and I'm gonna recommend Marathon. Hot button topic as of late, from especially from Destiny 2 heads that are very sad their game is dead now. But that game's been on my brain for the last like 2 months straight. It's just like really fun. So definitely give it a shot. I think it's one of the coolest looking shooters aesthetically that I've ever played. So yeah.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of good things about it. I was actually getting ready to, once I finished my playthrough of the Jack and Daxter games, I was going to play the old school Marathon.
That'd be cool. Bad timing just because they just had a free week of play for Marathon with the second season starting. So maybe if you don't want to buy it, wait for the next free weekend.
Yeah, I'm certainly not in a rush, but I've heard good stuff about it from a couple of my friends who have played it.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's also one of the coolest sounding games of all time. I'm literally like shaking in my boots walking through that game sometimes. It's like a horror game if you play it solo.
Nice.
But yeah. I had some recs.
There you go.
I just needed a second.
Alrighty. Kate, how about you? You got any recommendations from your vast manga archives?
I mean, I could recommend manga, but I don't know what's new and relevant for new because I'm still catching up on my massive backlog of like literally everything. But I'm gonna do a video game recommendation because that's easier to keep up with. The Hollower is really good. If you like kind of like top-down Zelda, old school Zelda-esque puzzle platformery things. It's got old school kind of pixel art, like 16-bit style pixel art, or game. I guess they were going for like Game Boy Color-esque a look to it. But that's a really well crafted game if you're in the mood for something like that. It starts off hard and kind of gets easier as you go along, which is like reverse difficulty scale, which is nice because I like it when you feel like you've been getting more powerful as the game goes on, instead of beating your head against the wall. Um, yep. So that's my one recommendation.
Yeah, that one looks fun. I mean, I liked Shovel Knight, so like I trusted these devs to cook again.
They did cook.
Nice. I've seen that one pop up on my feed a lot recently, especially because it has like an affordable price.
Mm-hmm.
Like I think its full retail is like $20.
Yeah.
Which certainly helps. It puts it right in a sweet spot for people who may not have otherwise been like interested to play it, to buy that on a whim of sorts based off of hype, rather than hype and then having to be like, well, do I want to spend $60 on a game that's not normally my style because everyone says it's good? Well, now you can drop 20. So much easier sell there.
Yeah.
All right, Mark, how about you?
Well, first off, of course, I'd like to recommend smoking because it makes you sexy and cool. Is this the point where we throw
carry
in?
the bit
Yeah.
all the way to the finish line.
Honestly, we need a bartender style anime, but for the smokers.
No, that's exactly what I didn't want this show to be, and it sounds like it is not. So I'll probably actually watch it.
The views of Mark does not necessarily represent the views of Fandom Post Radio. Don't listen to anything he says.
We need that disclaimer every episode.
That is true.
I mean, to be fair, you told us to burn down Netflix headquarters.
I'm not saying I'm not the reason we don't need it every episode. I'm probably mostly the reason.
For my real recommendation, I am actually going to go old school, and I don't care. Because last week I revisited Meizani Koku, the manga. I actually read for the Viz came out a couple of years ago with collector's editions of all of them, of the entire manga, which actually restores it, because in the original releases there were various chapters taken out for reasons that I don't really know why. I had owned the collector's edition for a little while, but I hadn't actually sat down and read it. Well, I sat down and read them last week, and it is still amazing after all these years. So everybody go out and get that and read it, because
I did.
That is a recommendation you should follow me on.
I did, in fact, buy the first collector's edition of that just a few weeks ago.
Oh, nice. Well, go buy the other 9. No.
Okay.
Sight unseen.
Yeah.
Sight unseen, exactly.
I've read some of the manga before, which is why I haven't reread this volume yet, but maybe I missed some chapters.
You know, it's the missing chapters certainly come a little bit earlier on than later on, but it's definitely one of those manga that, as much as I love it, and I do love Meizani Koku, it starts off a little bit rough. It takes a little bit of time for it to really get going, but when it gets going, it gets going. So,
yeah, no, I definitely have loved what I've read so far, and I liked what I've watched of the anime quite a bit as well. So, yeah, I should make some time, but my video games, I need to play my video games.
My video games. The endless struggle.
Yeah. Hey, be glad you're not trying to watch anime, play video games, read, and play One Piece card game. I'm juggling too many things.
I was going to say that sounds like a Wednesday night to me, except until you got to the One Piece card game part.
Right, yeah. I was like, okay, yes, check. Do you have any, Kane? Because I'm going to segue my recommendations into my plugs.
Oh, sure. I have 2. So, Forza Horizon 6 is really good and takes place in Japan, so you can drive around. Yeah, relevant. It's a lot of fun. Game looks great, very highly optimized. You can drive around in anything from a 1979 like Ford F-150 to a little 3-wheeled K car that is surprisingly good at drag racing, and that's a lot of fun. But really beautifully rendered, like lots of actual like landmarks and things you can drive through and around, and there's even like mini missions to go on day tours of areas in Japan too, so you have someone like actually giving you a guided tour of what you're driving through, which is really interesting. So would def recommend playing that. And then my other recommendation is not a manga exactly, but there is a humble bundle from Kodansha that is going on right now where it's like $30 and you get all of like Wodakoi, Sayuki, is it Hitorijime, and then a bunch of other like BL Yuri and other stuff from that. Uramichi Onisan is also on there in that bundle as well.
Top 10 anime of all time, I hear.
Yeah.
Wow.
One of my absolute favorites. So if you need some manga to read, I think you get them in like PDFs or EPUBs, depending on which one you want. And it's like $30, gets you all of it, and there are other little stages. But Humble Bundle's had some good manga bundles recently, in particular. So always keep a lookout on those.
I don't know if I've ever done Humble Bundle for manga. That's a good idea to keep an eye out for.
Yeah, plus you get the files in there yours forever too, so you could just have them and read them, so you don't have to worry about subscribing to any services or anything for some of the stuff. The only downside to those is, for the most part, the only way to get like any one of the series that they offer complete, if possible, is just to buy the whole kit and caboodle. So they don't offer like, oh, do you just want like Uramichi Onisan? We'll get this version of the bundle. It's like you'll get Uramichi Onisan in every bundle, but the only one that you're gonna get all of it is the most expensive version. Now, granted, $30 gets you 61 volumes of manga, so you'll get a lot in there. But yeah, I would definitely recommend that one. There's some good ones in there, and then even if you don't read them all, there's certainly enough between like Sayuki, Wodakoi, and Uramichi Onisan. I can't remember if it was any good, but I think that Hitorijime My Hero had an anime a little while ago.
Yeah.
So, and then there's just some stuff that I've never heard of in there as well. From Kodansha. So you'll get a good mix of things that have been adapted that you may have read, and some others that could be some up-and-comers or hidden gems. So definitely check that out. That's it for me, so I'll pass it over to Kestrel then.
Wow, that anime was 9 years ago. I really thought it was recent.
God, I was going to say fucking 2023 or something. Like,
wow. 2017. Wow.
Woof.
I'm looking at this humble bundle right now, and I'll just say I'll also recommend If I Could Reach You in that. That was a really good one.
Nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to recommend the Apothecary Diaries Anime Season 1 soundtrack vinyl, and the Apothecary Diaries novel art book, which has all of the art from the first 14 volumes, as well as designs and interviews and commentary and stuff, in a nice hardcover. I'll also recommend the Apothecary Diaries Season 1 of the anime complete collection on Steelbook. And I will segue into plugging my stuff. You can find me interviewing the creator of the Apothecary Diaries at Anime Central on fandompost.com. And you can also find me interviewing Yuki Kajiura at that same convention.
Nice.
Yep. It was a very good interview.
Hell yeah.
To recommend.
Thank you. Oh, thanks.
After her non-answers at the presentation on my Boston, and I was surprised that you actually got real answers out of her. So.
Yeah, she was marginally less unhinged with us. She was still very funny, but yeah, she gave some real answers, so that was nice. Yeah, and you can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky, Full Metal Kyoma on Twitter, KestrelSwift.bsky.social on Blue Sky, and yeah, you can find the podcast wherever you find podcasts. Subscribe, rate, and review. Fandom Post Radio, we are on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube Music. You can find us on fandompost.com, of course. You can iHeartRadio as well. You can subscribe to our RSS feed if you want to go old school. Find us on any podcatcher you use. Yeah. And social media as well. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Blue Sky at Fandom Post Radio. And you can email us, fandompostradio@gmail.com. Let us know if we convinced you to start smoking.
This episode brought to you by Philip Morris.
Seriously.
Hit us up, filter, no filter.
Do you smoke, Max?
Oh.
Joe Camel Isekai when.
No.
I made that same joke to Kestrel. I think it was like teleported to another world with the smooth taste of camel.
Yeah, you did.
You must have been referencing me there, right, Bran?
Yeah.
Okay, because that is the exact thing I said. Yep.
All right, Brand, where can folks talk to you?
Oh, Hellshake Brando on the socials. That's it.
Nice. Mark, yourself?
Yep, you can find me on Blue Sky, D Thomas, where pretty much my only real activity on there is to promote my reviews. So you can find me on Fandom Post, where this season I am reviewing The Ramparts of Ice, Aaron the Southpaw, and I Made Friends with the Second Prettiest Girl in My Class.
Very good. Kate, how about you?
You can find me at Sonic Bug on Blue Sky, and my reviews are on fandompost.com. I am reviewing the two shows I talked about, that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and Witch Hat Atelier, where I take many pretty screenshots and try to match them in with my review. And I also once picked a fight with all of England, but that's okay.
Seems fair.
They
Probably
deserve
called
it.
for. Yeah.
And as usual, you can find me right here on the podcast, sharing opinions, recommending tobacco products and brands for you and your family.
Especially your children.
Yeah, especially the children. Yeah, you got to get them early.
Yeah.
Good. Thanks for the reminder, Kestrel. We got to make sure our demographic is properly set. Yeah, as usual, hope everyone's enjoying the season, and thanks for listening. We'll talk to y'all later.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.
Yep, unfortunately for you, Kestrel, the show is